Okay guys, as promised, I am going to do a bunch of short videos building my first ever road bike. I believe it's going to be an aero road bike. I've ordered a lot of different parts over a long period of time now. I've been waiting months for most of those parts and they're starting to come in. So like I said, I'm going to do a bunch of small short videos and going over some of the items that I'm going to be using to do this road bike build. You know, it's kind of it's a combination. I wanted to build a quality bike, but I wanted to see if I can do it much cheaper than going to my local bike shop. So trying to get a really good road bike and spend, and this is my goal now, about $1,500 total, but make it the equivalent if I walked into a bike shop and built a $4,000-$5,000 bike. How am I going to do that? I had to go and order some of my parts from either Taiwan or China. Now, you can see a ton of videos out there that, you know, have their opinions. So be nice when you start remarking on what I did. There's good and there's bad with buying from China. I know there's some fears of it not being tested and some of that stuff being weak or unreliable. And I think there's other people that are just, hate to say this, but label whores and love labeling and love brand names so much that if you do anything that's a knockoff, it's an insult to them. So that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm trying to do my own thing here. I'm trying to make a nice bike. I'm not really trying to steal or take away from any other brand or reputation, but I do want to see if I can build something that's comparable for about a third of the price. I think now is a really good time to start making some of these videos. So the first thing that I got in that I'm really excited about, and this is not one of those knockoff times, is I got the new Ultegra full group set, the R8000. And as you see in one of my previous videos when I talk about putting a protective skin on it, I'm just gonna quickly go over the different components that I got real quick, and I'll give you a quick comparison against the 6800 series that I have on my other road bike. So I would say probably if you have the 6800, you're fine. I don't know if there's any real good reason other than aesthetics to switch from the Ultegra 6800 to the R8000. I mean, there are slight differences. It's bulkier and beefier, and I actually like the way it looks a little better, but as far as performance, I don't think you're gonna feel any difference between the two. So real quick, let me just show you what I got. I got the compact crank set here, the 50-34 tooth real quick. You know, I got the 170 millimeter crank. I got the shorter one. That's more than enough for me. So there it is real quick. That's what it looks like. Great. Let's move on to the next piece. So here are the Ultegra R8000 shifters. Now check these out. Very similar to the 6800, but a little darker in color. See that? The only other real difference here is in the hoods. There is more of a grip. You can see that design right there. You got the logo. So that's really it for the shifters. They do have a nice feel on them though. Okay, here are the front and rear brakes. Now these are nice. These are definitely beefier looking than the 6800. They are a darker color, and I like the mix of the satin and the shiny finish together with the Ultegra off center. They're beefier. Look at the width. Rear derailleur. Again, the only real difference here, I would say, it's a little darker color. Almost black, not quite black, and it's a bulkier look to it, but it's more compact, meaning they call it a shadow derailleur, where the mechanism fits more closely into the frame. So that's it, rear derailleur. It's nice, great looking set. And the front derailleur. This has some significant upgrades, which I really like. One being, hopefully you can see this right in here. They put this little plastic guard that helps prevent scratching of the metal. And I know what happened with some of the people's front derailleur after a while, because the chain rubs up against this, you can actually get a little bit of rust deposits. So they protected it with this plastic, which is really nice. The top of this has changed. This actually has now this, here you go, it has a cap. Basically, you feed it through, the cord loops around, and then you actually put this back on and it snaps down and it holds your cord down so the cord doesn't stick up. And last but not least, I got the bottom bracket. Now, Shimano did not come out with a specific R8000 bottom bracket. This is called the BB R60. It's the same one that they use in the 6800. It is a English or a BSA, whatever you'd like to call it. The reason why I got this is, and I didn't do BB30, and again, a lot of people are gonna have their opinions about this, but since this is my first bike build and I really wanna do most of it myself, I don't have one of those BB presses, so I know it's easier to service, there's less issues with creaking and stuff. So just to make it easier on myself, I did a old traditional BSA screw-in bottom bracket. Rear brake, 179. Front brake, 182 grams. Chain, 262 grams. Bottom bracket, 77 grams. Front derailleur, 89 grams. Rear derailleur, 197 grams. Rear cassette, 246 grams. Man, look at that. Just gotta give kudos. It's a nice design. Light, solid, but just overall, just great design work. And the shifters. Now this may be a little, let's try to see how I can get 208 if we want to believe, 208, 209, 422. And then last but not least, the good old crankset. Right in the middle. Let me see if I can lean it up. Full crankset, compact, 678. Like I said, I'm very excited about this. I'm ready to get on the way with building this bike. Again, this is the first video. There'll be more to come soon, and hopefully I'm gonna start knocking this out, and I will include you guys in the progress all along the way. So see you guys very, very soon. Wow.